you're back doing the training again.
After 2 tours, yes.
We're nice and loud now, that's lovely. Yeah, after 2 tours.
Miraculously, I still survived after 2 tours.
Because was it last time you told me that the odds of surviving 2 tours was 100 to 1 against? Did I remember that correctly?
Of 100,000 aircrew throughout the war, over 60,000 of them died.
I remember you telling me it was 60% attrition
very
rate,
much against survival.
Yeah, so you did it twice. So on my little list of questions, I mean, we had a brief chat beforehand. I've got Dad. What's that all about? Dad and the hospital.
Oh, yes. Yes, my father was called up early in the war. He was a bus driver in civilian life, and they recruited him to drive a heavy vehicle that transported tanks for the army. He was at Dunkirk, and he wouldn't talk very much about it, but he did say that he spent an hour up to his neck in water trying to get a boat back to England, which he eventually did. And then he was posted to the Middle East as a desert rat, and he was at El Alamein, which was the decisive war of the Middle East.
Right.
And
you can keep them off if you like, mate. If it's easier, keep them.
And he was wounded at El Alamein.
Right.
And taken to South Africa for initial treatment and then back to England. And I heard that it was back in England and applied for a 48-hour pass to go and see him. So I went to the military hospital, and by that time I'd been commissioned. And I went up to the military hospital, and there's a guard on the door. He said, "Yes, sir." I say, "Oh, do you think I could speak to Driver Storr?" "Yes, sir," he said. So, "Follow me." You know what? So I followed him along various corridors, and he came to a little room and banged on the door.
So this is, now you're going to visit your dad,
but
right. You're an officer now, and your dad wasn't, presumably?
No, I hadn't seen him for 3 years.
Oh, okay.
We hadn't even communicated.
Right.
So he said, "Okay, driver, stand to attention. There's an officer to see you."
So he's telling your dad now to stand to attention.
So he stood to attention. I came back, and he looked at me, and he just said, "Bloody hell."
So was that, well, obviously it was an emotional reunion.
Oh, it was, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how long did your dad last after that? No, I mean, did he see the war out or not?
He lived till about his 60s, so he was quite, considering the injuries he had received,
right.
He had quite a good life.
Yeah, yeah. And what's this about a Dear John then? What's the Dear John?
Oh, yes,
is
I was
relevant?
halfway through training command, and I got the usual DJ letter, Dear John, because the Americans were saturating England or Lincolnshire at that time. And, of course, my girlfriend had met an American, and that was it, goodbye, Dear John.
Yeah. It must be really difficult to hold some sort of relationship, in the war, mustn't it? I mean, people never knew what was going to happen, whether they were going to see each other again. Yeah. Okay. So here you are now then. You've seen your dad. You're now doing training. So what's next then? I mean, Cliff's obviously a man who likes a bit of action, doesn't he? Well, so he's not going to sit there all the time in Lincolnshire, is he, training other people?
Well, I was on training command, and I went to a dance one night, and wished I hadn't, because it was crowded with American GIs, and the girls were
All over 'em.
obsessed with them. And so I was thinking, oh, in and out. But as a matter of fact, just as I was thinking I'm going, the DJ said, oh, this is an excuse me, the gents can excuse and dance with who they want to. So I thought, oh, well, at least I'll have one dance, And I had already selected the girl I would like to dance with, and I excused the chap and we danced. And we were talking. And surprisingly, I said, well, despite the fact she's obviously, a Yankee mad, I'll ask if she'd like to go for a coffee with me. Surprisingly, I suppose it may have been because I was in RAF officer uniform, which was
and a bit of a smoothie, I would guess. Yeah.
Perhaps I did stand a chance against the Americans. Anyway, she did come for a coffee, and when I was leaving, she said, well, shall I see you again? So I thought,
you're in with a chance there then, mate. Yep.
Good. And from then on, for a while, we were quite inseparable. There was one surprising thing that on a couple of occasions, when she came to meet me outside the airfield, she was in a Jeep, having a lift in the Jeep. And I thought, that's strange, but then it didn't really concern me. But we were out one. Sorry if I seem to be diverting from.
That's right. No. I'm interested where this is going, to be honest. I'm sure all the listeners are as well.
We were in a bar one night, and I was sitting next to an American GI, and Brenda, her name was, she stood up to go to the toilet. So when she'd gone, this GI who was next to me said, so you're the one? I said, am I? And I said, I'm the one what? He said, oh, you're the one that's dating Brenda. He said, do you know that she's engaged to an American captain who's overseas at the moment? God. But he's heard she's dating someone else.
Oh, dear.
And his first chance he gets, he's going to come over and shoot you.
Yeah. How long did that last, a matter of interest, with Brenda after that conversation?
So I said, when she came back, I said to her, is it true you're engaged to an American captain? Oh, yes. I said, well, are you going to marry him then? Oh, I don't know. So I thought, well, if you don't know, I don't know. Anyway, I thought, plenty of people have, tried to shoot me, on the
but not close up.
Just
with a gun.
Just as another one, but I don't want to die just being shot by an American. So I heard there was a squadron forming to go over to the Far East and bomb Japan. So I promptly phoned up.
Put your name down for that one, mate, quickly.
Can I please join your squadrons to get out of the way?
Lord.
And he said, you'll be more than welcome with your experience. So off I went, and we were given various vaccinations and all kinds of things.
I'll tell you what, Cliff, we'll come back to that in a sec, can't we? All right. Let me just do this. I'm interested. I want to know what happened to Brenda as well in the end. But let me just go here.